What's going on YouTube? Chop Celery here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing one of my tanks in Dragon Age Inquisition, specifically for Nightmare difficulty, in addition to the Even Ground and Walk Softly trials being on. Just in short, for this tank build, it really does lack a lot of offensive capability, which is, pretty stereotypical of a tank. However, I have never gone down. When I'm directly controlling Blackwall, my tank, just by using a pretty effective rotation, in which I'll definitely review shortly. But just because, like I said, stereotypically tanks, they're not going to put out a lot of damage. The showcase that I typically do for like my build videos, the second half of the build video is really just going to be showing you how I can survive, or how I do survive as a solo encounter, because my main character goes down purposefully, and it takes me forever to kill the enemies that I'm facing, but I never go down. I'm never very close to death at all with this type of build. So let's just go ahead and start talking about my abilities first. Now, Blackwall, he is a champion. This is the tanking specialization. I do pick up 2 points here, but I don't pick up to the death. And I actually don't use Line in the Sand. I think Line in the Sand is pretty pointless, to be honest. But I do pick up the 4 passives, all which makes you, as a tank, a little bit more effective, increasing your guard, as well as your armor bonus when you have guard. The main ability that I have from the champion tree is actually Walking Fortress. You have a complete immunity to damage for 8 seconds, as well as the upgrade I chose was Siege Breaker. So when you take damage when you have Walking Fortress active, you're going to get an increase to your guard. So I just feel like, when this is off cooldown, we're definitely going to be popping this, just so that way we can keep our guard high. Especially, that's the main point of a tank, is drawing aggro and keeping our defenses up. Now, in terms of the Vanguard tree, I do pick up Warcry, Charging Bull, and Livid. I do use all 3 of these activated abilities. They're pretty much my go-tos. The upgrade for Warcry, I chose Call to Arms, just give me a larger armor bonus, which is good. For Charging Bull, I chose Gore and Trample, so the next ability after using Charging Bull isn't going to cost you anything. And then for Livid, I chose Still Standing, so you gain 20% guard amount for each enemy nearby, which, since we're always going to be in the thick of things, I figured that's a great upgrade to choose for Livid. Moving over to the Battlemaster tree, I do pick up 2 skills, Grappling Chain and Combat Roll. You really could have gone either way, Crippling Blows or Hamstring. It's really up to you. I don't know. I just figured I'd go with Crippling Blows. To get Combat Roll. Combat Roll with the upgrade coming through is actually going to be our main damaging ability for this type of build. It doesn't cost very much stamina at all, and it does a decent amount of damage. As you can see, 250% weapon damage. This is really the roll. My combat roll is actually, I think the highest I've ever gotten is like 2,000 damage. So the damage output on this build is pitiful. However, being a tank, I shouldn't really complain. Now, for 3 abilities that I choose in the Sword and Shield line, Shield Wall, I love this ability, and then I have on Immovable Object, so you're going to generate more guard. It's going to cost you less stamina when you block. Payback Strike is also, it's one of, actually all these abilities, I don't know why I keep saying they're my go-to, because I use all of them. Sweet Revenge is the upgrade I chose for Payback Strike. Just kidding, no I didn't. I chose Cruel Revenge. So when you use Payback Strike on an enemy, it's now going to taunt them. So it's just another way just to keep an enemy's attention on you. Bear Mauls the Wolves. This one's good. You're less likely to be staggered from the front. I chose Warrior's Resolve, so that way you're going to gain more stamina for the amount of health that you have missing. That's just good, so that way we could pump out a lot more abilities quicker if we need to, kind of like an oh shit moment. Turn the Bolt, I have this one, so it increases our ranged defense by 50%. And then the last activated ability, Shield Bash, I like using this one. It's really good against guard too, so that's what a lot of the other tanky kind of melee-based opponents will have. So it's good to not only knock down their their guard, but then the upgrade I chose was crippling smash. So an enemy that is struck by shield bash no longer does damage with its next attack. So that's pretty good, especially for a tank. Just in case an enemy is, heaven forbid, attacking one of your allies and not you, you could do crippling smash on them before they attack, and you're going to prevent some damage to your ally, which is great. And then turn the blade. So just anything that you can see from the front, like you're going to have an increased damage resistance of improved by 20%, anything coming from the front. I don't know why I said that weird, but moving over to attributes, as you can see, 40 strength, 60 constitution. My attack is only 15%. Guard damage bonus is 30%. Crit damage and chance are both right out of the box. Sunder on hit, 33%. My melee defense is incredibly high, 74%, 26% magic defense, and only 19% range defense. And my maximum guard, I guess, would be 266. Armor rating is 394, and I have 1112 health. So that's been the character record. Let's quickly go over to my my gear. Now I crafted both of the sword and the shield. The shield, I don't know. I just put on more melee defense, more range defense, and then on hit gain 3 guard. You know, I figured that's pretty a good one for a tank. And then for my my main weapon, plus 8 strength, plus 33% chance of sunder on hit, and then the masterwork is 10% chance to grant 5 seconds of walking fortress. So that way, you know, if this procs, which it does proc a decent amount of the time, that's just 5 more seconds of invulnerability. So I think that's pretty darn good. For the helmet, I just gave myself plus 18% melee defense. For the chest, plus 23% constitution, magic defense, sunder when hit, and then heal 25% of the damage taken over 10 seconds. Because we are going to almost always have guard, I think it's very rare that I've ever not had guard. When I'm controlling Black Wall, that, you know, even if somehow I take damage to my health, I'm always going to regain that back. And I've seen this, you know, just because I always have guard on, I've seen it really pull out a decent amount of healing over time, just for more survivability. That's the only reason why I chose that. Now, for the necklace, I'm using the superb Amulet of Evasion. I got this from one of the Crows war table assignments. It's something Zevran from Dragon Age Origins, he's involved in that. And it's like hunting down the crows or evading the crows, and I believe this is where I got the Amulet of Evasion. So you have a pretty large chance of dodging incoming attacks. For a tank, I think that's pretty good. Master Guard Belt, plus 40 max guard. And then for both my rings, I chose ability duration is increased by 30%. You know, just because I do want my guard generating abilities, taunts, anything else like that, just to last a little bit longer, so that way I can not only hold attention on me, but also I can improve my survivability for the, you know, the sustained over time kind of defensive moves. So that's pretty much it, friends. I'm sorry it's not as exciting as my other builds, but you know, tank is super vital if you're going to be playing on the harder difficulties, and making sure that you put in the, you know, the most effective abilities and craft pretty good gear, or just outfit them with as much tools in their toolbox as possible, so that way they don't go down. So I appreciate you all watching, friends, and as always, I'll turn it over to the second half of the video so you can see it in action. All right.